can't nobody change the color of you. Can't nobody keep you from dying. Like, it's some things it's gonna be. You know,
you go get that money, you spend it,
yeah,
you enjoy it, and then as soon as things will go wrong, then they're the devil.
they're the devil.
But $40,000 back.
Right.
Come on now.
New Gucci Balenciagas back. They wasn't the devil, right?
It was God sent, man.
God, it was a blessing.
It was a blessing.
It was a blessing.
And then I want to add to what you said. I'm sorry, just what you said when they even approached you. I'm not saying you in general, but just the fact is, if they approached you and they saw your talent, that's where again you should remain steadfast and firm on your convictions. Like, I'm not doing this, and that. So yeah, I agree exactly what you said.
I've had to say that before. I've gotten asked to do school events. Hey, but we can't talk about God. Well, I guess I won't be there. I guess I won't be.
And the thing that you got to look at as an artist is there's nothing wrong with doing mainstream or participating in mainstream. Yeah. The whole thing that I think that people need to understand is you need to get leverage, right?
Yeah.
The more leverage that you have, the more decision you'll be able to make in your vehicle.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes when you're so hard up for money,
yeah, that's what it is.
You give away all because of your anxiousness, your desperation, your hunger. You give away all your leverage, and you got to understand a record deal is a business deal, right? So if you can't go, and I'm a Christian, I believe in the Lord, but I'm gonna keep it 100 because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a businessman. If you come to me and you want me to give you, if everything that you're doing is going to cost $40,000 or $50,000, I'm going to put up my $50,000, you're going to get what I decide I'm going to give you, right?
Right.
You're not going to get what you want because it's my money. Now, if that's not the devil, that's not me being evil.
Right.
That's not saying Jesus don't love me. I don't love Jesus. Negro, that's my money. If you want to have some decision, you put up your money.
Come on, bro.
Right?
Exactly.
So if it costs $50,000, if $50,000 is total spent, and you want to have half of a say, you need to come up with $25,000 cash.
That's true.
Because if I put up a $25,000 cash, and with my credit or my credit score, I go borrow another $25,000. Right. I may not have to pay it right there, but it's on my credit. You still don't get that much for it. A record deal is a business deal. And I think you should not sign a record deal if you're broke.
Right.
That's the first thing.
Come on now.
Because if you're broke, you're not a thriving business. You can imagine, and I always try to equate this to if you take a Firestone, tire place. We got two Firestones. We have one Firestone that is for sale for $250,000, right? But it's dilapidated. The electrical doesn't work. The plumbing doesn't work. It's in a bad location, right?
Okay.
So although you're getting it for $250,000, it's going to cost you about $1.2 million to be able to get it back up to be a business, right? And so now you're looking at 1.4, but because it's not in an opportune location, it's gonna take you a long period of time that you're gonna get your money back for that 1.4 million. So it just may be a bad deal. Now we go to the second Firestone. It's open for business. The sale price on that Firestone is 1.2 million. It has an influx of customers already. Right, the electrical is perfect, pristine. Air conditioning is pristine. Plumbing is pristine. Okay. Right. So, and they're selling it for 1.2 million, but it has the ability with certain other marketing and advertising, it could do 2.4 million. That's a better investment. Yeah. So, you as an artist have to understand that if you are a dilapidated artist, and if you're new, you're still dilapidated because you're worth nothing, right?
I mean, you know, again, forced financially, you know what I'm saying, but in Christ, you're worth a whole lot. But again,
I mean, we're talking about.
I'm just telling the folks out.
We're talking about how a businessman see you,
right?
When you're going to try to get a deal. You can sing all day, you can rap, you can dance, you can program the crap out some drums, but if you are not if you're not already making money, you're not profitable.
You're not profitable.
So as an artist, when you do, there's nothing wrong with doing deals because, you know, it's nothing but a loan. A record deal is nothing but a bank loan.
Nothing but a loan, right?
It's nothing but a bank loan. Okay, you got the videos and they make it pop and all that kind of, but the real nuts and bolts is it is a loan. Right?
A lot of people don't know that, Rico. I think a lot of people think that's my money, but it's like, no, you're gonna pay that back. That's why a lot of artists, secular artists and Christian artists, they want to get out of their contract because they realize, I have to pay back for the video. I have to pay back the producers. I have to pay back the studio time. I have to pay back for the
marketing and promotions.
The car, the house. I have to pay all that back by doing shows, and I have to go hustle every night that they tell me to go hustle to make that money back. And it's unfortunate. A lot of people think that's free money up front, and it's not free money at all.
And you got to understand, there's nothing wrong with you venturing out for mainstream opportunities. Absolutely. You want to be profitable. Because if I'm already making $500,000 a year, like I don't need your money. Like you come to me because you see me like, man, this cat getting $500,000, $700,000 a year. Like, okay, he gets it, or she gets it. She already know how the business model. She already got her own business model, right? It's a profitable business. That's that second Firestone. It's already in operation. I ain't got to do nothing but put some blue to it. I just put some fire to it, and I'm gonna blow it up. That's a business that you want to get in. You want to do it. You want to be in contract. So then when you come to that table and say, look, no, I'm gonna give you 35%. I'm gonna keep 65%.
Right.
I'm gonna have the final decision. I'm gonna do all the edits, right? Because really, you're trying to get a piece of my money. I'm gonna allow you to become a stakeholder in what I'm doing, right? And that's how you have to think as an artist. But before you can get to have that conversation, you got to grind, you got to sweat, you got to build your fan base, you got to build your own business model. But go ahead.
No, you're absolutely. You got to be a good steward, I think, is what it gets down to. It's like what God gave you. It's like a baby. You wouldn't give your baby to a stranger. If they asked you, you're gonna protect it and take care of that thing. And I think a lot of people. I was talking about value. You had asked me earlier, like, what was the difference in the shift in my mindset of handling my business, and it was appreciating the value. Like, I am valued, and I have value with what I bring to the table. Like, I add value to your event or your space or your church. I'm bringing that with me, and it's okay to know that you are valuable. I think some people can't even accept it sometimes. It's like, I should just be doing because, hey, I should just be blessing folk. And it's like, yeah, but listen, there is a seed. I'll give you a good example. I had a friend of mine. We were just talking last week, and we were talking about asking. And I said, ask, seek, knock, right? And it's ask, the spell's ask. And that's what we are to do. So it's like, I'm okay to ask you for what I want. Like there is there's no limit to me asking for what I really, really want to happen in this agreement, in this situation, in this contract. Like I should ask, and I got a story for everything. My husband and I, we were looking at homes, and I was looking at a smaller home because I'm like, well, we just need to get into something, and God rebuked me one day. He said, you know what? You ask for what you want. Like you don't even know if I want to bless you on a bigger scale because I don't want to ask because maybe I won't get it. It's like, you need to just ask for what you want. Listen, God is out here trying to bless folk. Somebody got your blessing. So you might as well ask for what, money ain't coming off of the trees. Somebody has a blessing, and a lot of times God will tell people to give too. So I want to make sure, you know, whoever's listening, you hear that. Sometimes you don't ask because you're afraid that you're going to get a no. But my grandmother used to say, you're already at a no. Like, you're already at a no when you don't ask. So you might as well ask for what you want in life, and whatever that contract or deal or situation is, ask for what you want.
Amen. All right.
But
we had a couple comments down here that I kind of want to run through.
Yeah.
I want to run back. Gary Gray.
What's up, Gary? Yeah, awesome brother, right there.
He said once my group gained popularity, I stopped letting artists I managed to book shows unless all fees were paid in advance.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, his sons had a group called the 336 Boys. I think they're still going on in North Carolina, and they gained a lot of popularity or so. And the singer himself too.
Good.
Okay, and I see. And then we have another. He actually did another. He said, in order for an artist to remain viable as an artist, they have to get their worth, correct?
Most definitely.
And he actually stated that. He said, you're stating the truth, but it has put industry leaders in a bind. If an artist can get 400,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, they don't need a label. Right. Label logic is making labels obsolete.
That is so true.
I don't think you need a label, but every artist, they're not good organizers. So I think you have that group of artists who they just want to focus on their craft. I don't want to focus on uploading. I don't want to focus on paperwork. I just want to create. And then you have those other artists like myself. I'm in it all. And I remember when I first got into this game, I had a friend of mine. He told me, he said, nobody's about your business the way you are. He's like, if you will remember that, you will be all right. So you know, like, just remember, nobody's gonna handle your business the way you're gonna handle it. So I personally like to have my hands in every single decision and choice. But then I know some artists, they don't care about that. They just, I just want the microphone. I'm gonna pray before we walk out there, and I'm gone. You know, so there's nothing wrong with having a label. Like you said, Rico, there's nothing wrong with going into the mainstream. I just think before you sign on that dotted line, don't blame anybody else if you don't read the paperwork. You can't blame anybody else.
Come on.
You have to make sure you stipulate what you want in there. Like, this is what I want. This is what I will do, what I won't do, what I will wear, what I won't wear, what I will say, what I won't say, where I will go, where I won't go. Like, just be clear about it, and then make that agreement.
Right.
Anything you want to say, Ron? Before we get to the last segment.
Oh, that's hey, well said.